Hello guys, it's Carlos CDC, and today I have a casual review of the PM-701 from Zebra. So the PM-701, PM starts from permanent marker, and 701 I believe is one of the categories that uses stainless steel. So I have reviewed the F701, check it out right here if you want to, and it's a full metal pen. But because I like that pen so much, I went ahead and I bought the permanent marker variant of the 701. So let's start with some size comparisons real quick. Here we have a regular big pen, and here we have the PM-701. So you can see it's a little bit on the shorter side. Now we have a regular fine point sharpie. This is what probably everybody uses for a permanent marker. So it's a little bit longer than that and a little bit thicker. And now we have a PM2. It's a cutting tool that a lot of people are familiar with. Size wise, each square is half an inch. The total length of this marker is 5.5 inches, and it's around a quarter thick at its thickest point. Let's start real quick with the positive. So in the positive, it is almost a full metal construction, making this an extremely reliable tool at the job site. I like to rely on my tools. I like to have good tools. I like to spend good money on good tools. This is my everyday carry, and as you can see, it's a little pimped out, and I like that. Same thing with a marker. I use a marker, I use a pen, and a tape measure, and so on and so forth. But the things that I use the most of and I can carry every day, I tend to spend a little bit more money on. This surprisingly was only $11. I'll put a link down below from Amazon, an affiliate one. I find the price very nice, and I find the price to be very fair. And it came with 2 cartridges and 1 inside, so I had 3 cartridges total. This was the first cartridge I am done with, so I replaced it, as you could see in the intro. So yeah, the construction of it, the quality of it for the price is great. Aesthetically is really nice. It almost looks like something a girl would own, and has makeup inside, but it has a clip so you can tell it's a pen. But like this, it looks like I don't know, some sort of makeup thing. The clip is nice. It holds it holds on your pants or your shirt very well. The cap of it is also nice. The girth is nice, and the thickness of the nib is nice. The nib can go really fine, and if you put some pressure on it, it can get a little bit thicker. I, for one, when I make cuts on metal or wood or anything like that, I like a fine line, because I want to cut the line and have the correct measurement up to 1/64, 1/32, depending on whether I'm framing or doing something more, or doing something that requires more accuracy from my tools. So it's nice to have a fine tip this fine, and the fine comes as you push on the nib, because it's so fine, you start losing that sharpness at the end, and it starts getting thicker and thicker. With a sharpie, you end up here really quickly when you start it down here. This sharpie started out as fine. I don't know how long I have been using it, but look at how thick it is. That is thick. If you can read right here, it says fine point. So the PM-701's fineness lasts a little bit longer. It still gets chunky, not to this point, but it still gets a little bit chunky. However, it maintains that sharpness for longer than your Sharpies. And you have to buy cartridges, and the cartridges run you around the same price as one Sharpie. So it's like a 1-to-1 once you already have the permanent marker. In my opinion, for what I do, it was worth the asking price, and it's worth the cartridges, because I want a reliable tool that it's gonna be with me for a long time. I've actually been using this, been owning this for 6 months perhaps, and it's been working rather fine at the job site. In the negatives, clip on it doesn't feel as quality as the rest of the Sharpie, the rest of the marker. It's a little bit loose. I would like for that to not be that way. In another, perhaps not negative, the letters came off right away. But honestly, I see that as an absolute win.
I see this as an absolute win.
Because it looks more sterile, cleaner, sleek, and you still have the and you can still see the zebra right on the clip, so it's not a big deal. And another negative, when I changed the cartridge earlier, the pressure to get the cap off change is a little bit weaker, and I don't like that. That's another quality control standard that I think they should think about a little bit further. But those are the only negatives I could find with this permanent Sharpie. It worked well on 2x4s, plywood, plastic. It worked well on aluminum. It worked well in a lot of things. With this, while I was at work, we were fabricating a lot of hand washing stations of different sorts to supply for hospitals, construction sites, and the fire department. So it was really nice to be working on those with a nice quality tool in my hand, and I recommend it a lot if you use a Sharpie sometimes at work and you just want to step up a little bit, step up your game. You ask for quality and you give quality back. It's one of my things I say sometimes, and that's why I want quality tools in my pocket, and I want to offer people quality of work as well. But yeah, this was Carlos CDC. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe if you want to. I usually do reviews every week, and I go live every now and then.